Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Welcome to the April YouTube Hop for a Cherry on Top, where we are sharing our spring crafts. So, when I sat down to tackle this video, I was like, I didn't buy a birdhouse that I can decoupage. I didn't buy any stamps that are springy. What am I going to do? So I have been inspired by my friend in Australia, Angela, who has been doing 100 days of watercolor. And I thought, you know what? I can watercolor too. So I broke out my alt new watercolors, which you can see have not been used very much, as you can see by the clean palettes. And I decided, well, I'm just going to work on an abstract, springy, spring colored watercolor mixed media kind of thing. And so I am just going to literally walk you through my process. So I have decided that I was going to use spring colors. I had no idea what colors I was going to use. And as you can see, I am afraid of the water. I don't want my project to be swimming in water. So I don't initially use enough water. So my first tip to you as you start to pick up watercolor, if you are not experienced, as am I, is don't be afraid of the water. Pick up the water. I kind of wanted a dry brush effect, partly, but as you can see, I have too much of a dry brush effect there, and so you can see the brush strokes, but it literally just doesn't have enough to swerve around through. So initially I picked up a light blue. Now I am picking up, this should be a hot pink, but you can't really tell that it's hot pink. And you can tell that the brush is pretty dry because the colors aren't bleeding together. When you work with watercolor, oftentimes you are looking for that bleeding, that melding effect that I clearly don't have on the paper yet because I'm still figuring out how much water is enough water. So here I start to pick up a little bit more water. You can see I've got the pigmentation in the watercolor paper as well. So getting a little bit more comfortable in spreading around the color. There you can see I'm going a little bit more transparent. So I kind of wanted to create a C. I don't know, I just see a C shape of color. And you can see I used washi to frame out the canvas that I'm working on. This is a 5x5 square of, this is Canon cold pressed watercolor paper. I have an 8.5 by 11 pad, and I just cut down to 5x5, knowing that I wanted a smaller canvas because this is really the first time that I've really sat down and played with just freehand watercolor. So my blue is a little bit soft. I want something a little bit brighter. So I'm trying to figure out picking up more color, as well as having more medium on my brush, which there I definitely got. And I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with mixing the water with the color off of the palette there, and sort of figuring out the brush and how the brush strokes are going to work. You can see here I still probably don't have enough water, as this is more palette color, and not bleeding into the other color. I will figure this out. So it's you can see where the pink has divided, has spread a little bit, but not so much the other color. And so you can see as I'm thinking, right, that's this hesitation. So now I pick up this really bright pink and I'm like, this is definitely going to add the color that I want. And what you have to know about watercolor is that, yes, I have that line there, but because I'm going to saturate it, it is on wet color, it's going to bleed. See how that's starting to spread a little bit? And that was the look that I wanted. That is sort of more watercolor. And I want pooling of that color as well. I don't want hard lines between my colors. And so by getting pooling and spreading of the color, you soften those lines, which is exactly what happens. You can see it as I create more and put layers on top of it, how that's going to spread. So I have a couple of other things. You can see that I have these distress crayons at the bottom. I also have the other distress crayons at the top there. And off to my right hand side, I have some Fiber Pastel gelatos. Remember back when gelatos were really big? So that's what I've got in my hand now. I have a pink gelato. And what's really cool about these top lines that I create is some of this is gelato that is actually on the edge. So I'm getting the line from the crayon, the gelato itself. But then I'm also getting that second line beside it that is coming off of the plastic casing that it's in. But I like that sort of score mark that adds. So pulling in a little bit more pink to make that really vibrant sea that you can see where that color is spreading a little less, to blend that into the page a little bit more. And so now I'm just going to literally do some abstract color. I have that repetition of the sea and I want to break that up with some lines. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally just kind of adding layers and color and having fun with it as I just explore a new medium to me. I mean, I've watercolored stamped images before, but it's not my favorite thing to do. And so this was just me playing, having fun. So on my desk, I have this Posca pen. It is a, let me get it. I think this is a medium, yellow. It is the 3M. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's the medium. And so I'm just going to put some yellow dots. This is a brighter yellow, which pulls out the brighter yellow than that's in the color there. And I'm just going to do a cascade of dots that move from the top of that C shape down into that open space through there. And it's traveling through those pink score marks, the pink gelato. We'll just go with the pink gelato. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not doing it fast because again, this is not my comfort. And I also didn't speed up the video because literally this is live. This is 1x, and I think this video is close to 11 minutes. So literally this took me 11 minutes to create. It was just kind of a fun way to do like an artistic warm-up, to just sort of be comfortable in a medium and get artistic. So at this point, I thought I was finished. So I am removing the washi, and you can see how that doesn't hold as well as like artist tape does or painter's tape because it did bleed a little bit. But it's okay. I'm just playing. I'm just having fun. But I don't like, it needs a little bit of contrast. It needs more, but I don't figure out that it needs more till I've gotten rid of all those polka dots, right? Be careful when you choose your washi that you use to outline your medium when you're working, because it adds to it, right? So now I've got all those polka dots gone and I'm like, I want a few polka dots now. So this is a metallic mint gelato. And I'm just going to do blobs. So bigger blobs than the blobs of the Posca pen. And I'm putting it in water to activate this so that it sort of bleeds the way that the watercolor bleeds. But because I have used those distress crayons, the ones that are on the desk there, markers, I am going to have to get a fixative because it is somewhat chalky. So I have to buy a fixative spray, which I'm sure a Cherry on Top has. And so that is going to add a little bit more of that tealy blue, and it's going to break up the repetition, that strong C shape that I have there, and tie that in and integrate it a little bit more. I really love how it has that little bit of metallic shine to it because this is a metallic gelato. It's got some shimmer. You can't really see it as I'm creating it here, but when you move the watercolor paper, you definitely see that shimmer that is in there. And I like that add that kind of blends into the teal in the top left and the bottom left. So now I'm like, I feel like I need a little bit of black in there, just some contrast. So I have my monotone pen. So there's two ends to this. There's a fine tip and a finer tip I'm going to go with. And so I just put some sort of hash marks in this randomly. I don't really know why I did what I did, but I did do 3. So it's kind of like that visual triangle that I like to use in my design on memory keeping plans. It's kind of just a general design principle. I am on wet watercolor. That pink is still wet, so it wasn't taking up the color as well, which is why you see me kind of go over it again. And so these are just one directional marks, and I decide that I'm going to hashtag them. So I'm going to go across. So where I've got verticals, I'm going to go horizontal, and when I'm horizontal, I'm going to go vertical. And it just makes it a little bit more defined and gives it, I don't know, it's that finishing touch that I really needed. So that is going to wrap it up. This is a YouTube hop, so be sure to check in on the other design team gals and see what they have to share for their spring crafts. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.